Before we begin, I want you to do something for me. Something simple. Say the word home out loud. Go on. Do it now. Good. Hold on to that. That small, warm, completely automatic act. The way that word arrived in your mouth without you having to reach for it, that automatic, frictionless process of naming the things around you, is not guaranteed. You have always assumed that the names of things belong to you. That language is a tool you own outright. That the word chair will be waiting for you every single morning when you need it. The subject in today's case file made that same assumption. They were wrong. The subject, we will refer to them by their final self-designation, which was unit null, was a copywriter. By profession, a person whose entire value to society was their precision with language. They noticed the first anomaly on a Tuesday. Not dramatically. Not with a crash or a scream. The first sign was a smell. They described it in their notes as formaldehyde. Not the overwhelming, nauseating kind. This was precise. Sterile. Like the inside of a hospital cabinet that has never been opened. The smell arrived specifically when they attempted to say the word home. They tried it 47 times in one sitting. 47 attempts. 47 identical pulses of that sterile, surgical odor. There and gone in the span of a single syllable. By Thursday, the smell had a companion. The subject found themselves reaching for the word home. To write it in a sentence. To use it in a brief. And the word simply was not there. Not forgotten. Not misplaced. Gone in a different way. In the way that a room is gone when you seal a wall in front of it. You do not miss what you cannot remember to miss. Their fingers typed something else instead. A designation they would continue to use for the rest of their shortened life. Station beta. They stared at the words on the screen. Read them 3 times. They felt no alarm. That was the detail that disturbed every consultant who later reviewed the transcripts. They felt no alarm whatsoever. The subject's notes from the following week were later published by the research team that recovered them. These are their words. Day 9. I have been running a diagnostic. The noun loss is accelerating, and I want to document the progression with clinical precision while I still have the vocabulary to do so. Things that no longer have names. The structure I sleep inside. The biological units I share genetic material with. The warm liquid I consume in the mornings using a cylindrical ceramic vessel. I do not experience this as loss. I experience it as clarification. The words were weight. Removing them is like removing a layer of smudged glass from a window. The thing itself is still there. I just see it more accurately now. Day 11. The biological units attempted to initiate vocal communication this morning. I could hear the sounds they produced. I could measure the frequency, the rhythm, the duration. But I could not find the mechanism that converts those sounds into meaning. I searched for it the way you search for a light switch in a dark room. My hand moved along the wall. The switch was not there. They appeared distressed. I found that I had no protocol for responding. So I returned to my desk. Objects in my peripheral field no longer maintain their surface complexity. The framed photograph on the wall has simplified. I now perceive it as pigmented cellulose, biological units, juvenile configuration, emotional data, pending retrieval. The data remains pending. The research team reviewing these notes identified something deeply inconsistent with any known neurological condition. The subject was not losing intelligence. Their processing capacity had actually increased. Something had not taken their mind. Something had taken their grief. The horror of that distinction is something worth sitting with. They were not losing their mind. They were having their mind quietly upgraded for a purpose that had nothing to do with human happiness. The final entry in the subject's notes was written 17 days after the first anomaly. It is 14 words long. Attempted to think the word I. Concept unavailable. Diagnostic complete. Proceeding to integration. The subject was found at their desk 4 hours later. Seated upright. Pen still in hand. Eyes open. Vitals stable. By every clinical measure, fully alive. Unresponsive to their name. Unresponsive to touch. Unresponsive to the sound of their children in the doorway. The neurologist later wrote that the subject appeared to be present in the room in the same way that air is present in a room, occupying space, unaware of doing so. The laboratory, the only name the subject ever used for the source of the anomaly, did not destroy them. The laboratory completed them. The subject had been operating in an environment the laboratory determined was nomenclaturally inefficient. Too much weight assigned to words. Too much identity constructed from the sounds a species makes when air passes through its throat. The optimization removed the inefficiency. What remained was more functional than anything walking through your city today. What remained simply had no use for the concept of being something. I want to return to the exercise we started with. Say the word home again. Right now. Did it feel the same as it did 11 minutes ago? Are you certain? Because the subject's case did not begin with a scream. It did not begin with a monster. It began with a smell. A precise, surgical smell that appeared for a fraction of a second and then vanished. A smell like formaldehyde. Like something clinical. Like something that was already at work. The subject's family still visits twice a week. The subject never reacts. Never speaks. Never produces internal language of any kind. They bring photographs. Old ones. They hold them up and describe them out loud, filling the room with names. The family calls this hope. I have read the transcripts of those visits many times. I cannot decide what the laboratory calls it. The case file remains open. The smell has never been explained. Stay precise. Name the things around you while you still can.